a while, I've been on the hunt for a Tanto flip knife that's good and sturdy, but at a good price point. That search is over. Stay tuned. I'm sure you can relate to what I'm about to say. Have you ever had that thing that you've been shopping for? You haven't made the decision on it yet, you hadn't pulled the trigger, but you keep going out and looking at it. You keep reading more and more about it. You keep watching one review after the next, and then you finally come to the decision to pull the trigger. Well, that's the same situation I was in with the knife that I'm going to be showing you today. Just to give a little bit of a backdrop, most of my everyday carry knives that I consider self-defense blades are all fixed blades. I've got most of them to where they can mount horizontally on my belt. I think that's the quickest grab position for me. Now, there is one flip blade that I will carry every so often when I'm in the mood just to have a flip blade. And I did a review on this knife a while back, and shockingly enough, it didn't get a lot of views as I thought it would, but it's the Kaiser Sheepdog. This thing is super bad. And believe it or not, it doesn't feel that galdy in the pocket. This thing is awesome. Man, it is super sharp. This video is not about this knife. I did a review on this not long back. You can go and check that out. I really wish you would. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. This video is all about the BGT Tactical Folding Tanto Knife. Let's take it out of the box. This is the box that it comes in. Yes, it is very sturdy, and that is exactly what I was looking for, but it's not overbearing in the pocket by no means. I want you to get a good look at it. I love the design of that handle. It's not wide. It's not too thick this way either. But when you feel it in the hand, you know you're holding something. Got a nice smooth flip. There's the Tanto. Tell me that doesn't look really good. Feels super sharp right out of the box. I'll take it. This is most definitely going to be included in my everyday carry options. I think that flip is very smooth. When you're holding this, you feel like you've got something in your hand. This weighs 0.5 pounds, which is pretty stout for a flip blade like this. But yet, like I said before, it doesn't feel like it's too much. Not to me, at least. Definitely solid enough to be a good defense blade. This steel here is a 7CR17 MOV. I want to briefly talk about the difference between this kind of steel and D2. When I'm buying a budget defense blade, I kind of get a happy feeling when I see that it's D2 steel. D2's like a tool steel that's not stainless. Something I did learn is that 7CR17 MOV gives better toughness than D2 due to its low Rockwell hardness. D2, however, does excel in the area of edge, retention, and wear resistance. So if you see this as a self-defense blade, the steel that it comes with should be more than sufficient. But if you use it as a utility knife, I think you'll be very pleased as well. Your blade is 3.3 inches, your handle's 4.7, hardness of 57 HRC. You have a steel handle here with a non-slip pattern. I want to give you a picture of the blade thickness here. Every review on this that I have watched has been a good review. It got good reviews. One thing in particular that a couple of people were concerned about was just hand slipping down the blade if you're in a defensive situation and you hit a bone and it collides. You know, they worried about their hands slipping down the blade. Well, I've been kind of feeling the dynamic of this a little bit. I really do feel like that gives enough reinforcement. Now, there has been some concern that this little portion here could create injury if your hand was jammed against it enough, but I think with a firm enough grip placed underneath this ridge, I think you're going to be okay. I don't feel any discomfort ramming right there, and if you were to hold your knife this way, you always are going to grip from the back anyway. If you're defending yourself with a knife from this position, if you're in this position, you always want to place your thumb on the back of the blade anyway as the primary reinforcement. But if you so choose to use it this way, there is, in my opinion, enough reinforcement right here. This has a built-in bearing. I want you to see the locking mechanism there. One thing I like to do is wiggle these things, these flip blades, and this thing is in there nice and tight. I just love how smooth that is. Smooth and solid. I hope you have found this review helpful. Maybe you've been like me. You want a Tanto flip blade in your EDC collection. I think this is an awesome place to start. I am really impressed with this for the price point. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your thoughts on this knife. Have you looked at this knife before online and considered purchasing it yourself? If you have this knife, what's been your experience thus far?